Hello everyone, welcome to day 8 of the ICC World 2020. JP's here of course once again.
Hello Jim, hello everybody.
Now then, interesting day's cricket today because we've had 2 thumping wins and some would say a bit of an upset.
Yeah, 2 very one-sided games I'm afraid Jim, so from an entertainment value and really wanting games to go down the line, it didn't happen today, but there were a lot of sixers hitting, as you say, a bit of an upset in the women's competition.
Okay, well Australia and India led us off today, followed by Sri Lanka and the West Indies, so Australia batting first, they did put up a bit of score.
Yeah, they thumped it Jim. David Warner made 72, Shane Watson 54, the openers, 7 sixes to Warner, 6 sixes to Watson. You thought, well, they're going to go on to score 200 plus here. They were pegged back a little bit by India. Yuvraj and Ashish Nehru took a couple of wickets, but 184 for 5 always looked like a winning score, and even more so in India. I think they were 23 for 4 early on. Unable to cope with the pace of Dirk Nannis and Sean Tate in particular. They took 3 wickets apiece, and it wasn't for Rohit Sharma's brilliant 79 not out with 6 sixes, they would have been absolutely embarrassed. As it was, they bowled out for 135. Very disappointing. Australia win by 49 runs. They have really put a marker down.
They have, and also they've kind of put down it in as a very strong fashion, haven't they? Fast bowling and big 6 hitting. So
yeah, no, very. As I said last time, we were talking about Australia, very balanced team. Expect them to go far.
Okay, well, second game of the day, Sri Lanka and the West Indies, home team looking for a really good showing here. Didn't quite happen, did it? Didn't
happen at all. Sri Lanka piled on the runs again, 195 for 3, so they took the record there for the biggest score in the tournament so far from England and Australia. Mahela Jayawardene almost became the first man to score back-to-back 2020 international centuries. He was stranded on 98 not out the other end from the penultimate ball of their innings when the Chamara Kapagedra was bowled out, so couldn't really cross or anything like that because you can't. And then, but the key for me was the partnership between him and Kumar Sangakkara. They put on 166 for the second wicket. They really set the platform, and really they battered with the West Indies out of the game. They made a good start, the West Indies. Chris Gale made 5 and Shivran Chandimal made 11. After that, it was very disappointing. People like Sarwan, Bravo, Fletcher all made reasonable contributions. They took far too long to get there. By the time they were dismissed, the lower order was left with far too much to do. They couldn't deal with Lassit Malinga and one of the other M's, Ajanta Mendis. They both took 3 wickets, and similar to Nansen Tate, they were just too good. 138 for 8 was the West Indies score. 57 runs, and that is an absolute thrashing in 2020 cricket.
It is a bit of a shame for the host, really, but well played to Sri Lanka there, and Murali was playing.
He was playing, yes. We were sort of rather sceptical when people were saying, oh, he's out for the tournament. Thought, he'll play. He'll be kept on, even if he's on one leg for the final, he'll play. He made a recovery, bowled quite tidily today, didn't take a wicket, but that's another boost for the Sri Lankans as they move on to the latter stages.
Okay, well there's the 2 men's games today, but there's also some women's cricket.
Yes, Australia and the West Indies are through. Australia beat South Africa relatively comfortably, and then the West Indies beat the reigning champions England by 2 runs, a game that did go down to the wire. They were the games to be watching, I suspect, today out in St Kitts. So England women, reigning champions, are on the way home. Okay, well, competition continues tomorrow. It's still Super 8 stage, so what's in store for us tomorrow? We've got New Zealand against Pakistan, 2 sides who lost their first games in the Super 8s. The loser of this game will probably be out, so we could lose both reigning champions. I know England women have got another game, it's a dead rubber, they cannot go through. We could lose both the reigning champions in the space of 2 days. That's going to be a very important game.
Okay, and after New Zealand and Pakistan, I believe England are playing.
England and South Africa, the winner of this game, conversely, could book their place in the semi-finals, the way the fixtures sort of have been decided. Now, interesting points of note here, South Africa today were fined for a slow over 8, so they're going to be keen to get as far as they can in the finals, recoup perhaps some of those losses. And interestingly, the top order for England, Kate Kieswetter, Kevin Peterson, Michael Lamb, all born in South Africa, well, they can expect to cop a little bit of flat. It'll be very interesting to see how they cope with that pressure.
I'm sure they'll want to answer it with runs.
They certainly will.
Okay, well there it is, another roundup, and looking ahead to tomorrow's games. Thanks very much for watching. Thank you, JP, for your insight, and let's hope for better games of cricket tomorrow, closer finishes, and some more exciting cricket here on Cricket World.